If you're a smart, ambitious person who just doesn't know what to do with their life, here's the one thing I'd start doing to figure out what's next. Doing this consistently helped me land 2 jobs by the age of 15, meaning I got clear on what I want, made better decisions, and built a life that feels true to me. But before we start the video, grab a notepad because you're gonna want to take notes. This is gonna be a full step-by-step practical guidance to figure yourself out. So yesterday I told you guys about the 3 habits to upgrade your life, one of which was building research papers on your life. And I know that sounds confusing, like what does that even mean? Let me break it down to you. Researching your life is just a fancy way of saying journaling in a way that actually works. You ask a question and you go find the answers to some sort of challenge or experiment. Instead of randomly living your life, you start living it like a collection of experiments. Now, why does that matter? Because you'll see people who are successful and they know themselves pretty well. Like Eileen says, putting an analytical lens to her thinking lets her control who she becomes. That means she spends time understanding herself. People who are successful, they're not oblivious. They're pretty self-aware. And the fastest way to build that awareness is to start analyzing your life. For example, my first research was back in 2024 and my question was quite simple. How can I finish my entire syllabus in 30 days and still get an A? That was it. Now, instead of hoping it works and going with the flow, I started testing like what routines or study techniques were for me. By the end of it, I had answers with actual data. That's when I realized like you can literally make your life more successful and fulfilling just by turning your goals into experiment or researches in this case. Because now you're not just trying to reach your goals, you're figuring something out, solving a problem, and that is addicting. That makes you take yourself seriously and live intentionally. Now that you know what to do, here's exactly how to build the actual research paper. So the first step is pretty simple. Just pick a very specific question about your life. Like, how can I get rid of this addiction? Do I actually enjoy this specific hobby or not? Those are specific questions. For example, I picked graphic design to test back in 2024. I tried it for 3 months, learned it all, and later realized through intentional research that I did not like it as a career. So let's say you pick a skill and every day you track one thing. How much did I enjoy doing this today? On the scale of 1 to 10. By the end of the month, you don't have confusion anymore. You have actual data, like you like it or not. And that alone saves you years because most people don't even try. They just like the idea of doing something and spend years studying it. Pretty much exactly why people are so unhappy with the jobs they studied and idolized for 10 years. Now here's how you actually structure your research journey. First, find your question. Second, your resources like any video, media, books, courses, anything that helps you learn or try things out. Third, you note everything down. Not just what you've learned, but how you feel about it. And fourth, you look at the papers daily. Just have a small time block in your day where you go through it all and see what is working and what needs to change. Now that you have the framework down, let me tell you the 2 things your research papers must have. First is some kind of visual representation of your process. A very easy example of this could be a habit tracker because your brain needs to see progress and physical evidence. It needs something to look forward to, which in this case could be a simple graph of the entire research process. Second thing is a simple to-do list. This keeps you consistent. Now here's the reason why building actual research papers on your life works so well. It makes you fall in love with the process because our brain craves the end result, craves to get the thing it wants so bad that the process towards it feels too dull to stay consistent. And when that happens, you start sabotaging your own success. But when you're building research papers on every small milestone, you stop caring about the end result as much and start enjoying the process of, improving and figuring yourself out. So if you want to find your direction in life, stop going with the flow and start researching on yourself. It lets you become more intentional and present in life. Because the more you test, the more you learn about yourself, and the more you learn, the clearer everything gets. So that was the entire breakdown on how you can start researching on your life to figure out exactly what you want to do with it. Save this and send this to a friend who's also figuring out what's next. And I'll see you on the next one.